Hi there, my name is Dan and I'm a Senior RMM Admin at ProValTech. Today we will begin a multi-part series called VSA Help Desk Basics. Over the next several videos, we will learn the basics on how to use the VSA in a support role. The topics we will cover are Manage Agents, Columns and Column Sets, using Quick View, using Live Connect, Custom Fields, Views, and Policy Basics. Today's video will specifically cover the Manage Agents module, how to navigate, customize, and create column sets. The first thing you'll need to be familiar with in the VSA is the Agents Manage Agents page. What is an agent though? When we refer to an agent in regards to the VSA, we are referring to an endpoint, like a server or workstation, that has the Kaseya agent installed and is available in the VSA. The Manage Agents page lists all of these agents. This can be thousands of machines right at your fingertips. Let's look at the Manage Agents page as well as the general layout of the VSA. On the far left is our navigation pane. This allows us to quickly switch between different functions in the VSA. Today, the function we will be focusing on is Agents, Manage Agents, here under the Agents module. In the main portion of our screen, we see several tools that we can use to manage these agents, to filter based on our needs, and even to add and remove information using columns to get the info we need at a glance. Let's start at the very top row, which allows you to filter your agents based on several different criteria. At the very top left, we have the Machine ID field, which we can use to locate a single machine. You can see here that we are filtering by the name Administrator, which gives us a single result in the agents window. If we remove this filter, we can see more agents appear. Next, we have the Machine Group filter. Much like the previous filter, we can use this one to filter by machine group or organization. In this example, we have filtered our results by the group proval.testmachines. Next, we have the Views filter. Like the other two, this filters the results we see displayed in our Agents pane. Views, however, can be configured to filter by specific criteria and have a far-reaching effect over the entire VSA. For example, you can have a view that filters by operating system, server roles, and more. We will discuss views in a later video. These new, edit, and reset buttons all apply to the Views pane. On the next row, we see several tools that we can use to manipulate the selected agent or agents in the main window below. Manage allows us to do the following. We can update the agent software on the endpoint or cancel that update. We can delete the agent from the VSA, rename the agent, change the machine group or org that the agent is assigned to, change the working directory of the agent, or suspend and resume the agent. Suspending an agent stops all VSA policy and procedure from affecting that agent. This is typically used for maintenance on the endpoint. When deleting an agent, you'll be given three options. You can uninstall the agent at first check-in, you could delete the account without uninstalling the agent, or you can uninstall the agent from the endpoint without deleting the account. And in this case, the account refers to the agent's entry within the VSA. You can uninstall the software from the endpoint, but leave it listed in your VSA. There's different use cases for each type of deletion. One thing to note about deletion is that when you delete it, it only marks the agent for deletion right away. The actual deletion of that agent happens during off hours in the VSA to reserve resources. This Clean Database button right here will force all of those deletions to happen immediately. The working directory that I mentioned earlier, that's the location that the VSA stores most of its working files on the endpoint. By default, this is C:\k working, but that can be customized. The next option that we have here in this row is credentials. This allows us to store the credentials for that endpoint in the VSA so that we can use them later. We can also test those credentials from here or clear all credentials from the agent. The Deploy Agent button here is deprecated, should be removed in a future release. This allowed us before to previously download a default agent and push it to the machine automatically. This has been disabled in VSA at this time. The Refresh button obviously does what it says on the tin, simply refreshes that agent list. Now, column sets are saved configurations of columns that you can easily switch between for various uses. Let's create a column set now. First, we'll click on Column Set, then New. Next, let's call this column set Last Reboot. Next, we'll choose the columns Online, machine ID, and last reboot time. Let's click Save. Now we can see on the far right that last reboot is available in the column set dropdown. Selecting it shows us only the columns that we configured a few moments ago in that column set. Creating column sets can be useful if you have specialized job functions that you need specific information to complete. A networking specialist could set up DNS, IP, gateway, and domain columns to get all of that information quickly when they glance at the agents list. Finally, let's have a look at these columns themselves. You'll notice that if you hover over this column, you'll see a small down arrow. Clicking that arrow allows us to manually filter that column. For example, if you have a column of operating system values and you want to only show Windows 7 machines. We can also manually add a column to this view temporarily. The next time you log in, it will be back to default. So those are the basics of the Manage Agents function in Kaseya. Something I'd like to note as well is that the filters that we discussed at the top of the page for machine ID and machine group or views, those actually appear on most pages in the VSA that have agent lists, such as audit or agent procedures. It's great to know how to use them. Thanks for watching. We post a new video each week to share our knowledge on Kaseya and ConnectWise products. To learn more about what we do, visit provaltech.com with a link in the description below.